Okay, Samsung has created what is arguably the best flagship smartphone in the market in a very long time in the form of the Galaxy S23 series, more specifically the Ultra model. Now, if you don't know, in the past, Samsung had one big problem with mostly their flagship phones, and that is the Exynos chip, which usually is inferior compared to the Snapdragon counterparts. And people always complained about that. But finally, Samsung gave up on that and got rid of in-house Exynos chips totally for the Galaxy S23 series. And it is great for most people. I mean, all people. And you know why? Because the Galaxy S23 series is performing real good with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 made using 4nm processor node, and the Samsung phones more specifically are getting the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy Chipset, which is somewhat a collaboration between Samsung and Qualcomm and probably Google. And this one making the Samsung's phones exclusively having the most high-performing chip available in the market right now. Just think about it. Every other phones are getting the standard Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, which is not bad by any means, but it is nowhere as good as the 8 Gen 2 found inside the Galaxy phones. This Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy is much more power efficient than even the standard Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, which is much more power efficient than the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, which was quite a bit hot. And that's probably the reason why the whole Galaxy S23 series has an insanely good battery life, even having almost the same battery capacity as the last year's models. What about the future? Well, the Galaxy Z Fold 5 and the Flip 5 are also expected to come with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 made for Galaxy chipset. But what about the S24? Well, yeah, it's gonna be the same, 8 Gen 3 made for Galaxy. But far in the future, Samsung is actually going to release their own custom CPU. Yeah, I'm not talking about just only the SoC, but their own CPU. What I mean by that is that Samsung is actually working on custom CPU cores. And not just that, some AMD employees have joined them as well. That is crazy good. Because in 2025, we might even see a custom Galaxy chip. Now, if you don't know, Samsung started using ARM CPU cores with the launch of the Exynos 2100, which was a big step forward, but it was not enough. Now, what I mean by that is that they are actually taking off-the-shelf ARM CPU cores like X1 core, X2 core, or stuff like that, or the A76 cores, A55 cores, all of those cores, and they're making a custom CPU, which is the same thing that Qualcomm does. But Qualcomm has better efficiency thanks to TSMC's manufacturing and some other things that Qualcomm has to deal with. So now, here's the thing. If the ARM CPU cores are good enough, then why Samsung is actually making these new CPU cores? Theoretically, it allows for improved horsepower and much more power efficiency. In fact, Qualcomm is also taking the same route with its upcoming Orion CPU, which is expected to power the ARM PCs or laptops. Now, if you don't know about the custom CPU cores in the Samsung processors, well, this is not the first time Samsung gonna have custom CPU cores. Samsung has previously used custom Mongoose cores, yes, those Mongoose cores, in Exynos processor from 2016 to 2020. The last one was the Exynos 990, which was hated like crazy. So that's why Samsung opted for the Exynos 2100 with ARM CPU cores, and they failed with the Exynos 2200. Not they exactly failed, but they failed to just make a great chipset as they promised. So that's why they are using the Snapdragon chips made for Galaxy at this point. So somewhere in 2025 to 2027, Samsung will just reveal their own custom SoC. Now that's not only though, Samsung also have to focus on areas like graphics, AI or NPU, image processing or ISP, and overall efficiency, like the battery life that matters a lot. Nevertheless, this custom SoC will actually make the Samsung devices even more connected with each other and much more power efficient and powerful. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about this development? And yes, if you want, you can get some crazy cool wallpapers up on my website. Definitely visit my website, joindavid.com, link down below. So yeah, that's about it. Until the next one, bye and take care.